I've had a zigzag since they first come out. I got the second version of it right after they released the first version, and people had a lot of trouble with them. And then I climbed on a rope wrench and a Prusik for a pretty little while. And this is the Rope Runner Pro. It is by far my favorite device to use. The rope tends so well up through it. My problem with Prusiks is them tightening down on the rope and biting on the rope. Like after you've been on them for a while and you're trying to work your way out laterally and you're trying to let rope out and then tend it back in. I've used a ton of different Prusiks and I've used a ton of different knots on the Prusiks, and I just never could find the sweet spot for the Prusik. And I love the Rope Runner. This limb right here that I'm about to cut, there's actually a drone out there on the end of it, hung up in it. Watch the arrow when it pops up here, you're going to see it. There it goes, right there. I didn't know whose it was, but come to find out, the homeowner, his son, him and a friend was out there flying around, and they hung it up in this sweet gum. And it had been up in that tree for about 3 years. And like I said, I didn't even see it when it come down there till I got down on the ground. And then that's when I spotted it. So if you'll notice, I'm on pretty much 2 lanyards the whole time in this tree. That green lanyard right there is my original one. That's the Hip Star lanyard. I've tore it all apart, and I've got an art positioner on it now and all that stuff that I've had on it for a while. The orange lanyard is from US Rigging. They actually sent me that lanyard. It's a steel core lanyard. I like it a lot. I like it in the takedown stuff. It is more weight, and it's got a different feel to it. I like the rigidity of it. However, one thing that I did not like about it is it had on the anchor side of it where you could position with it and everything, where it had the micro grab on it. It didn't have a swivel on it, and that thing, I've used it a good bit, and the not having a swivel on it was very aggravating. This tree was really, really rotten. I mean, it was just about borderline too rotten to be on a rope up there. I mean, it still had good wood in it. Limbs were like paper, basically. It's a sweet gum is what this tree is. So on the US Rigging steel core lanyard, I installed a swivel on the anchor side of it. And so it's actually the clamp that I clamp when I go around a tree and clamp it on my right side all the time. It had a swivel on it, but now it's got one. You see the carabiner right there, there's actually a swivel connected back on my belt right there, and boy, it made a huge difference today when I was in this tree.
Perfect, y'all. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright, that's on bubble. Good on ground, we can cut the, we can work it.
The saws I'm running today is the top handle saw is a T540 IXP battery saw. It's got a 14-inch bar on it. And then the gas saw that you're fixing to see me pick up is my oldest Screaming Demon, my 550 XP Mark II. That's the one I'm running. So those are the only two saws I ran on this whole job. I started to cut this tree down with the battery saw, but I said, nah, I'll get it with the 550 and let it eat. These pieces here on the ground or on the street right there, I don't want to bust that concrete curb there, and so I'm going to set one right there in line where the tree's going to fall, and then I'll move over and I'll set one in the street to kind of cushion it too. And if you're working around sidewalks or concrete, that's a really good idea. It can save you a lot of heartache later on down the road. Saying in each video, I'm not boring this tree here. I'm just back cutting it. I'm gonna cut in so far a little ways, and I'm gonna stick a wedge in it. Kind of give a little nudge when I get up to where I'm making my hinge. Now, often it's very tempting to keep cutting and cut your hinge, even when you're cutting like this right here. Do not cut your hinge. Leave 10% DBH hinge thickness right there. Walk away. See it? Alright, watch it holding. Bam! Broke right there. Tree's on the ground when it breaks. It did its job.
I was up in the tree up there somewhere.
Keep watching. This is one thing that really pisses me off about this blower right here. It's about to happen right there. So the second section of tube that's closest to the handle, I've actually glued it on. I couldn't get this section off when I glued the other section on. But you rest assured, I'm gonna tear this thing apart. If I have to rip that thing off, then I'm putting back on, and I will be gluing that thing on. They could do better than this. I like the steel, the BR800 better, and the reason why is because it's got a telescoping tube on it. I don't have one, but I may in the future, because man, I ain't got time to be dealing with junk like that right there. Because that right there that's not cool, man. I mean that's like 2-cent fix right there or whatever. You know what I mean?
good.